Okay, class, thank you all for settling in so nicely on the carpet. And let's make sure we're all sitting on our bottoms with our hands in our laps, ready to listen. I think you're going to like our lesson for today because it involves the same story that we read yesterday. The Three Little Pigs, remember, by James Marshall. Did all of you like this story? Yeah. Yes, it's a very familiar story. So, can anybody tell me a little bit about the story? How about Jamie? What happened in this story that you remember? Yes, the three little pigs built houses, didn't they? Can anyone else tell me what kind of houses they built? Hunter? The first one built a house of straw, that's right. And how did that work out for him? No, not very well, did it? No. Okay. And how about the second house that the second little pig built? Anybody? Eric? He built his of sticks, didn't he? And did that go well? No, not very well, did it? No. Okay, the third pig, what did he build his house out of? Anybody? Ellie? Right, bricks. And how was that? That was a much better choice, wasn't it? Okay. And what was the wolf like in this book? That's right, he was mean. Very good, Len. Okay, now, today we're going to read the true story of the Three Little Pigs, and then we are going to compare and contrast the two books. Now, do we all remember what comparing and contrasting is? Shelby. That's right, you look at things that are the same in both of the two things that you're comparing, right? And then you look at the things that are different. And we'll talk about the things that are the same and different, and we'll write those down. Okay, good. So, all eyes on me. Let's make sure we're seated with the hands to ourselves, and all eyes on the book. We're going to read The True Story of the Three Little Pigs by John Saiska. Everybody knows the story of the Three Little Pigs, or at least they think they do. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. I'm the wolf. Oh my gosh, Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too, right? But like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. This is the real story. Way back in Once Upon a Time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold. I ran out of sugar. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now this neighbor was a pig, and he wasn't too bright either. What do you think that means? Not being too bright. Leah. That's right, it means not being too smart, right? He had built his whole house out of straw. Not too bright. Can you believe it? I mean, who in his right mind would build a house of straw? So of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. I didn't want to just walk into someone else's house. So I called, little pig, are you in? No answer. I was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. That's when my nose started to itch. I felt a sneeze coming on. Well, I huffed, and I snuffed, and I sneezed a great sneeze. Oh my goodness. And you know what? That whole darn straw house fell down, And right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig, dead as a doornail. He had been home the whole time. It seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw, so I ate it up. Did all of you know that ham comes from pigs? Yeah, and if somebody talks about pork, that's pig. Think of it as a big cheeseburger just lying there. So I was feeling a little bit better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar. So I went to the next neighbor's house. This neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not much. He had built his house of sticks. I rang the bell on the stick house. Nobody answered. I called, "Mr. Pig, are you in?" He yelled back, "Go away, Wolf. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin chin." I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed and I snuffed and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great sneeze. And you're not going to believe it, but this guy's house fell down just like his brother's. When the dust cleared, there was the second little pig, dead as a doornail. Wolf's honor. Now, you know food will spoil if you just leave it out in the open. So I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. Think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little bit better. And I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next house. This guy was the first and second little pig's brother. He must have been the brains of the family. He had built his house of bricks. I knocked on the brick house. No answer. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in?" And do you know what that rude little porker answered? "Get out of here, Wolf. Don't bother me again." Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar, and he wouldn't give me even one little cup for my dear, sweet old granny's birthday cake. What a pig. I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when I felt my cold coming on. I huffed and I snuffed and I sneezed once again. Then the third little pig yelled, "And your old granny can sit on a pin." Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fellow, but when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go a little crazy. When the cops drove up, of course I was trying to break down this pig's door. And the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. Oh no. The rest, as they say, is history. Look at the paper. Big Bad Wolf. A.T. Wolf, big and bad. The news reporters found out about the two pigs I had for dinner. They figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting. So they jazzed up the story with all of that huff and puff and blow your house down. And they made me the big bad wolf. That's it. The real story. I was framed. We can talk more about what framed means in this story. But maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar. Poor Wolf didn't get to make his granny's birthday cake, did he? Okay, what do you think of this story, guys? Did you like it? Yes, I did too. I love this story. Which one do you like better? How many like this one better? The first three little pigs. Yeah, how many like the second true story better? Yeah, I know. This one's my favorite too. Okay, now we're going to practice comparing and contrasting these two books. And since our Promethean board is not working today, we're going to do it the old-fashioned way with chalk and a chalkboard. So we have the ways that they are different, the true story of the three little pigs and the three little pigs, which we can write things in these area, and then the things that are similar, that are in both of the stories, we can write in the middle. You guys remember this, right? We used Venn diagrams a little while ago to compare something. So it's a great way to show what's the same about the two things and what are different about the two things. So let's think about story elements that we've been talking about for a couple weeks now. When we talk about story elements, we talk about the setting, the characters, the plot events, and conflict and solution, right? So let's start with the setting. In the two books, is the setting the same or is it different? Let's see, Kindle. Right, I think the setting is the same too. They didn't really describe it in the true story of the Three Little Pigs, but it sounds like they're both kind of in farmland settings, right? So we'll put this in the middle spot. Okay, so how about characters? Are the characters the same? Maya. Yeah, that's right. The characters are we've got all the same characters, the Three Little Pigs and the wolf. So we can put same characters. And are the Three Little Pigs the same in both books? Let's see, Adam. They are. The Three Little Pigs seem to be the same in both books, right? Because they build the houses the same in both books, and they don't like the the wolf in both books, right? That's right. So, and then what other characters do we have? The Three Little Pigs and Hunter, the wolf, right? Good. Okay. Now, Hunter, why don't you tell me ways that the wolf is different in these two books? Can you think of a way that the wolf is different? Very good. In the first book, the wolf is mean, right? Wolf is mean. And how about Dee Dee? Can you tell me a way that the wolf is different in the two books? Yes. The wolf wants to eat the pigs. He wants to eat the pigs. That's a big difference because his intention is to eat the pigs. What is the wolf's intention in the true story? Let's get someone else to talk. How about Sarah? What's the wolf's intention in the true story of the Three Little Pigs? To borrow a cup of sugar. Wolf wants sugar. He doesn't want to eat the pigs, right? Why does he eat the pigs? Let's see. Allison, why does he eat the pigs? He eats the first two pigs because they die when their houses fall down. Eats pigs after the house falls down, and it's an accident, right? He didn't really try to kill the pigs. It was an accident. Good. Okay. Now we'll do one more question. Let's see. Let's talk about what happens to the wolf. What happens to the wolf at the end of the story? Is that the same in the two books, or is that different? Let's see. Kate. What happens to the wolf in the end of the first Three Little Pigs story? He gets boiled, doesn't he? Wolf is boiled in water. That's true. Very good. Okay, and let's see. Let's pick Orion. Orion, what happens to the wolf at the end of the true story of the Three Little Pigs? Do you remember what happens to the wolf? Very good. He goes to jail. Wolf goes to jail. Okay. Very good. So, does anyone not understand the comparing and contrasting where we put the different things on each side for the two books, and the ways they are the same in the middle. Okay? So we're going to do another practice exercise. You guys are going to get in groups. I'll dismiss your groups in a couple minutes. But here are your instructions. So before I give you your instructions, let's raise up our hands, shake up our arms, shake out our arms. Is everybody shaking? Good. Now stretch. Okay, put your hands in your lap. All eyes on me. I'll tell you your instructions. Everybody listen. You'll go to your tables with your group when I dismiss you. There's a Venn diagram on each table. With your group, you will fill out the Venn diagram, jotting down the ways that we are going to compare the wolf character in each book. So you'll talk about the wolf character in each book and jot down the ways that they are different in the two books and the ways that they are alike in the two books. And I'll have the copies of the books on the table. You can come up and look at them if you forget something or just want to refresh your memory, and talk amongst yourselves and fill out your Venn diagram. And I would love to see 2 or 3 things in each section of the Venn diagram. Okay. Then, everybody listening? After your group work, you'll each go to your desk. Each of you will fill out a separate Venn diagram on your own, and you will be comparing a story event, a plot event, in each of the books. So you can pick your own plot event. Just make sure that the plot event you pick has similarities and differences. So you can put some things in all 3 sections of your Venn diagram, ways that they are different and ways that they are alike. And I would love to see 2 or 3 things in each section of your Venn diagram, okay? So when you're working in your groups, let me know if you have any questions. I'll be walking around. I can answer questions and clarify anything, help you if you need help. But then when we're doing it on our own, we're going to try to do it on our own, okay? Okay, yellow group, go to your table. Good job. Red group, go to your table. Your Venn diagram is on the table. Green group, you can go to your table.